What's going on, guys? It's Tony, Urban Girl Scout Media, living the dream as always, and coming to you today to go off the rails on a popular topic here lately. Is paper magic dying? So, before I get into this, if you guys enjoy the content on this channel, like the videos, share the videos, follow me across all the platforms, the Tumblr, the Facebook, and the YouTube, and help me grow. If you don't like the channel, well, leave a comment below so I can roast on you. Either way around it, let's talk about this for a moment. Paper magic, where it all started, right? Almost 30 years ago. Good God. So, over the past 2 years, Hasbro Games, who owns Wizards of the Coast, who owns Magic the Gathering, yada yada, however you want to look at it. Hasbro Games has done a lot of things to reduce the kind of the support for live Magic. The events have been fewer, GPs and things like that. Coverage has been reduced. Even what it takes for a store to be certified or WPN or any of that crap, it's really changed a lot to where it's a lot harder than people realize. So you take that along with just all the stuff that's happened lately. I mean, DCI numbers are getting removed. They're encouraging you to go through Arena to create your new account, things like that. There's a lot of people that are truly scared about, is this the end of paper magic? And I don't think it's an easy yes or no. I do believe the answer, if you have to choose one, is no. So spoiler alert. But I wanted to give you guys my perspective here on why this isn't necessarily the worst thing or really all that bad of a thing. So, paper magic is going to be in a decline when you consider that a few years ago, Magic the Gathering didn't have a real strong digital presence. There were applications that you could play. You used to be able to buy video games on Xbox, of all things, to go and play pre-constructed decks and even decks that you are able to tweak against your friends. So Magic has been looking for a way to get into this realm badly. It is no secret. I believe they even had a PlayStation 1 game where it's like you're a Planeswalker card mage or some shit like that. Anyways, so the internet has really changed, and games like Hearthstone and League of Legends or whatever the hell the kids are playing online and on their phones and things like that against each other, that drew Magic's attention. Hasbro Games said, hey, we need to get into that realm. We own the tradable card game. We need to get into the digital aspect of that. That's a fair assessment to make. When you want to remain at the top, you have to be willing to try new things. So that alone means that some of their resources, some of their focus, and even the stories we get, they're going to be about digital. It's going to be about Arena, online, things like that. There's going to be more focus on it. So that's just kind of the natural first thing that you have to realize when they start making changes, is that they do have to allocate some sources to it. So that's why we hear more about it. Now, let's take that and remember that the goal for this company is to make money. It is not to be second place. It is to be first. So Magic Arena, they put a lot of time and effort into the visual aspect of it. Gameplay aspect is one thing, but the visual, the animations, and stuff like that, they did what they could to make it a very viable product. They're trying to compete in the digital platform. The move with the DCI being removed and all that crap, I think it's really long term. I think they're going to try and do a unified rewards program. But the other thing you guys have to remember is that right now, the reason we're hearing so much more about the digital aspect than anything else is we have this world health pandemic going on. And it is very, very, very frowned upon to have any kind of gatherings of people playing Magic. So not only were events like Magic Fest getting terrible reviews, they were oversold in small spaces, but now there is this whole health scare, and well, guys, it's going to be tough for Magic for a while to come back from this. There's not going to be a lot of people who want to get back out right after the dust has settled and get into those crowded game stores where I love the Magic community, but guys, you know what I'm saying when I say it. Magic players are notoriously not hygienic. There are stores that have signs up that you have to have showered or be presentable. Like, it's not cool to show up in your pajamas that you've been wearing for 3 days straight and you haven't showered or brushed your teeth. Like, that's just not cool, but that's stuff that Magic players do. That is stuff that they do, and I'm not saying they do it to be cool. My opinion is it's insane, but that is stuff that they do. So even with the World Health Scare, there's going to be people who are going to say, I don't want to be around these Magic players that are already kind of, whatever. So Paper Magic, where I'm going with this is Paper Magic is going to struggle for the foreseeable future. Events are going to struggle. Game stores, that's why Hasbro was so quick to do something on Arena for game stores to keep them engaged, because depending on how long stores are forced to close, then you have to consider if they're able to reopen. Getting people to come back for events is going to be very tough, in my opinion. I just don't see, especially if we have a second or third wave of a pandemic, like a lot of people believe we will. I just don't see people really wanting to be out and socialize. That's me, though. So I kind of went off on a tangent there, but I want to point out, guys, this is actually not the worst thing that Hasbro could do. They're showing a few things to me that I'm willing to deal with a few of the negatives for. Let me explain. First, they got an online presence. They got a digital presence that they can be proud of. I can play Magic Arena very, very freely. That's awesome. Now, I have my personal opinions about what they should and shouldn't do with that program, but the fact that they have it up and running, and for the most part, it's worth the time. Second is, they pivoted quickly to get game stores involved, meaning that they're committed to making this work, which gives me hope that they're going to put Pioneer online, things like that, maybe sooner than later, depending upon how we come out of this pandemic. But that's really why I don't think it's that bad. I just don't. I think that we need a way to play Magic. They're finding a way to get these new cards into the market or into the meta so that we can test them. They're finding a way to let players continue to interact with this game. So I think you have to be okay with the sense that it's not going to go the way of like collecting basketball and baseball cards and shit like that, where it's just going to be useless. But I do think that for the foreseeable future, digital Magic is going to have a much stronger presence than what people may be comfortable with. It does not mean it's the end. It does not mean you have to freak out. It does not mean you have to sell off your collection. It just means that you have to be prepared for probably the next 6 months. That even if these places start opening back up, which Hasbro Games is actually doing pretty good with the announcements of postponing events and whatnot. They've done pretty good with respecting the rules. But even when they open up, I don't see a lot of people eager to get out and mingle like that. Not in the Magic community. So if you guys haven't tried Magic Arena, I would at least give it a go. For all of the upsides, there are downsides as well. It is a limited card pool. There are very limited interactions with other people. And the animation is great. I think there's too much focus on that versus some of the game design. So that's just my take on it. But in this pandemic, that is a very good program to have. I mean, it really is. So just be prepared. The next 6 months, possibly a little bit longer, I just don't see Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro Games, not making a huge push on their digital platforms. I mean, they just announced May 21st we're going to get Historic Anthology 3. I'll make a video about here after this. And they're clearly pushing cards into that. So I can't see them doing all this just to test it out. I think at this point there is some smoke where there's fire. There is going to be a little bit more of a push, but I don't think it's going to be. I think up into maybe the last year, it was like a 50-50 push. It's going to be strong for the online platform. I'd say about 70 to 60% of Hasbro Games' focus is going to be everything they can do online. Even if that means selling directly to you, they're going to try and get a more digital presence. That's why they're putting the game on Arena on mobile platforms like your cell phone device. They're going to try and do that. That's why they're doing secret layers. They're trying to find ways where they can cut out the middleman, where they can be in control of whatever's going on, where they can do these things and have more of an imprint on it, go more digital, things like that. Things they haven't been able to do the last few years. I know a lot of people are going to be upset. A lot of people are going to be upset. Don't sell your cards. Don't freak out. Don't lose your head over this. Remember that you would rather a company be willing to experiment than paralyzed by their success. That's just my take on it. Sort of a weird rant there. I didn't really make any notes for this one. It's just something it's been on my mind a lot, and like I said, I hold true to that. Like everything I said on here, I think it's a good idea for for them to push the digital presence. Pandemic has made it a lot more important. Coming out of it, I think people are going to be hesitant to do things in general. Magic players have a reputation for being a little unhygienic or anti-hygienic or whatever you want to call it. But Magic the Gathering players have that reputation nonetheless, for better or worse. And I mean, it's just there's going to be so many factors, even stuff I'm not talking about here, that's going to determine how people come out of everything. And we don't even know if we're coming out of it. That's the best part. So just be prepared, guys. Bunker down, try some of these platforms out, find one that you like, and then just bunker down. We will get to play Paper Magic again, in person again, at stores again. That is literally one of the biggest draws of the game, is the gathering aspect. You hear a lot of people say that, and it's 100% the truth. The gathering aspect is what is so great about this game. Thank you so much. My name is Tony K with Urban Girl Scout Media, living the dream as always.